Hi guys, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Welcome to a magical place called Boca Chica, Texas. And this, of course, is the SpaceX test launch facility. There's an energy in the air, my friends. This is something about to happen. So we don't exactly know what's going to happen. We don't exactly know when it's going to happen. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, we're testing out a few different things here. We're kind of playing around with our mobile studio setup to just kind of see how things are going. As you know, for those of you that have been trying to be watching for 15 minutes, we're about 15 minutes late because things happen. So check this out. We do have something exciting to show you, and it is called a B-cam. So I can actually, while we're talking about things about Starship, I can actually be zooming in around here and showing you guys cool stuff on the rocket as well. So yeah, so you guys see that I've actually got a camera. There's currently a scissor lift in there. But I might have to have Andrew come unlock this because I don't even know how to work that thing. Anyway, how are you guys? I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Yeah, I hope that everything's good. We're going to have incredible footage for you guys when this thing does hop. Of course, right now we currently do not have a proper date for the hop, and we now know that there's going to be a static fire tomorrow. So it looks like I'll be able to cover a static fire for you guys tomorrow. Probably from, we don't know exactly which location yet, but we'll cover it for you guys, and it should be pretty cool. I'm still curious. My big question, my number one question, are they going to do a relight test? Because as far as we've known, they've never done a relight of a Raptor engine. Maybe on the test stand in McGregor, but we've never heard any confirmation of that. There's people that listen for all of the tests at McGregor too. No one's ever heard a back-to-back test at all of a Raptor engine. There's never been one here. So that is definitely a big unknown, is like, are they going to test a back-to-back Raptor ignition or not? That's my big thing. I would not be surprised if they see that, because the first time, I feel like it might not be the best idea for your first time to test if you can relight an engine 5 minutes later while you're falling out of the sky at 500 kilometers an hour. That's me personally. If I had my own rocket company, that's kind of where I'd be. We're going to test out some stuff like this. John, welcome. Thank you for the membership. I really appreciate that. We're just kind of seeing how things are working here. So from Fly High 18, thanks for all the updates, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. If you guys want, I want to kind of try to keep this focused on Starship stuff, on questions you guys have specifically about Starship. Andrew, if you can come, or Gene maybe, what is the way to, on the left. It's going to be hard to do like a twofer. Okay, there we go. So I can even point to Starship. I can do all of the cool stuff. Hang on, let me look at, oh my word. You should not give me control of the camera. This is gonna be bad. There's Starhopper. Whoa, Starhopper's big and dirty and gross and weird and sad these days, which is understandable. But look at the difference. Guys, I'm gonna show you some fun stuff. Look at the difference in quality. I should probably get it in focus. Look at the difference in quality between Starhopper. Like, just check this out. Just take a gander at Starhopper. Right? Not great. No offense to the people that worked on Starhopper. Let's scroll over here to the left and let's take a look at Starship. Now, this isn't even this is still a pretty old version of Starship, but it's substantially better quality. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Gene, actually, why don't I just have Gene run the camera here, Gene, if you don't mind. Yeah. So I better, now that Gene is within my bubble, I'm going to actually mask up here just to be safe, even though we have strong winds. All right, so what else is new for you guys? So we'll have Gene run the camera. If you guys have any questions, we can point it out on and kind of explain things. And yeah, this is from Max. Gave us a giant amount of F and a exclamation. We don't even need to have F in the chat at this point, because ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming. This is a question from Base Boy Low G. Says, getting a factory tour with Elon this week. We do not know yet. Hopefully that's something that happens in the relatively near future. As soon as I know anything, basically, you guys will know. This is from Chris Brown. Again, now I think I have too many Chris Browns in my life, because my old recording buddy, his name was Chris Brown. And now there's another Chris Brown, and of course there's another Chris Brown out there. And the Chris Brown that I was friends with married Rihanna. Dead serious. Her name is Rihanna, his wife, and they met before. It's weird. This is from Chris Brown. Tim, for you to buy a Mankini on the 15-kilometer flight day. You only have to wear it if it's full success. Oh, a mankini, I see, and not on a run. Sorry, I'm sorry, Chris. I mean, I might, but it'll just be, you know, me running up and down the beach privately. UTA14, thank you very much for the membership. We have CSpace Infinity 01. You're welcome. My pleasure. We're really excited to be able to bring you guys some coverage when this thing does fly. I'm really hoping for sanity's sake that it's within the next week or so. I would love for it to be this week. I know that Elon wants it to be this week, but the fact that they sprung a surprise additional static fire was a bit of a surprise. So, yeah. This is from Uga. Says Uga. Says, hi, Tim. Odds of a successful launch and landing. Here's my probability. This is changing constantly, but I think I've got it nailed down now. I'm 90% confident, 95, 99% confident all three engines will fire at some point successfully, like, period. I think they have that down, as they're proving with all the static fire. So that's not even like, that's a pretty low risk thing. 80% sure it'll lift off and clear the pad and start flying. Begin vertical flight as planned. I'm only about 60% chance that it will get to apogee, that it'll get up to its 15-kilometer planned altitude, right? I'm at 60% there. I'm 40% sure it'll get through that, you know, that it'll get through the reentry phase or the belly flop phase, and it'll get all the way down to the point where it's trying to relight its engines. There, things get a little riskier. I'm only giving the relight a 20% chance of actually having the engines ignite. And then from there, if they relight, you know, I think they'll begin that maneuver. I'm giving it only a 10% chance of standing successfully and living to tell the tale again. I just really think that there's so many things that they're having to do for the very first time ever to have all of them go right. Just very, very low probability. And that's honestly, it's pretty exciting, frankly, right? I mean, that's not bad. I mean, 10% chance, and the cool thing is right around the corner, literally right next door, basically, right down the street, is another one waiting to fly. We have serial number 9 literally like pretty much ready to go. You know, so even if this thing totally blows up and doesn't do hardly anything, there's another attempt right around the corner. So it's definitely not a deal breaker. It's not as big of a deal as it would be with another rocket, even though these, you know, these aren't bespoke prototypes. They're actually, strangely, they basically made a factory before they started building these things. So they have the ability to really just start cranking out hardware, cranking out, you know, yeah. So it's, even though it would only maybe be a 10% chance of success, I don't think that's that bad of a thing. So, all right, this is from Bob Bolden. How concerned are you about SpaceX's ability to transfer fuel between two starships in orbit, considering fuel transfer in space has never been done? False, Bob. Fuel transfer has been done in space quite often. As a matter of fact, you know, every time we go up on the International Space Station, we have to refuel. You know, the International Space Station gets refueled constantly from Progress vehicles and everything. So it's been done all the time. Well, not all the time, but it's a fairly routine thing. Cryogenic fuels, though, is something that we've never done before. So that is something that's relatively unique, right? We haven't really seen cryogenic fuels, large masses of cryogenic fuels transferred before. So that's something that's new. But as far as realistically, I mean, again, the unknowns are always unknown. But if you have two systems that are at the same pressure, two starships with the same 6-bar pressure in each starship, transferring between them should be relatively simple. Their environments are the same. They're at the same temperatures. You know, they're at the same pressure. So opening some valves and transferring fuels between them, I don't think is going to be a big deal. And actually, they'll be able to kind of practice at small scale by going from the header tanks, those small mini tanks that are in between the LOX and the oxidizer, the LOX and the fuel tank. They can transfer that way, right? So they can actually practice transferring fluids, transferring fuel in between tanks on their first orbital starship. And then if that goes well, they can, you know, going transferred from starship to starship isn't nearly as big of a deal. So, oh, this is from My Tesla Adventure. Thank you so much, Eli. How's it going? Thank you for your support. I love you, man. And thanks for saying hi. Awesome. We have a secret thing coming out. Just saying that. I'm just telling you right now, we have a secret thing coming out. You know this. But everyone else, you don't know this. Also, yes, hey, our Black Friday sales, by the way, are still going all the way through Cyber Monday. 15% off of our store. So if you guys haven't shopped around on our new site yet, go to shop.everydayastronaut.com or everydayastronaut.com/shop. Pick up we have so much new merch, including new drinkware, ayo, and we've got these hoodies and stuff stocked up. We got lots of cool stuff. So shop.everydayastronaut.com. Get there now while it's still 15% off. It's automatically applied, discount at checkout. We have new international shipping solutions, which I've noticed in the UK and some other places is amazing. It looks like there might still be some tweaking that we're working with the new fulfillment company it looks like Austria and Germany seems to have some kind of weird pricing things, but so maybe some patience there. But for everybody else, check it out because we do have some awesome new merch there for you guys. New beanies, new stickers, lots of new stuff. So check it out, shop.everydayastronaut.com. I'm just going to say everydayastronaut.com/shop. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of you who have been shopping there for your holiday needs. It really means a lot to me. Aaron Davis. Hey Tim, check out our new Mark II engine when you get a minute. Air augmented 3D printed 3,428 seconds of ISP hot fire test this spring. Hope you can come. Aaron, I definitely need to check that out. I actually forwarded it to a friend right away because I was really busy. I'm like, I want you to look into this and then let's talk about it. So I actually am thinking about the Fenris engine. So don't worry, I pay attention, my friend. Thank you for sending that very much, Aaron. You're awesome and good luck. We'll be talking. Randy Moore, you're welcome. My pleasure. This is an absolute dream come true for me. So thank you for saying hi. Tamir says, thanks for the coverage. So happy you can make it all the way there. Of course, my pleasure. Again, it's exactly what I want to do, and I can't wait to see this thing fly. This is going to be something genuinely insane. I think this will be one of those moments in human history that we're going to look back at and be like, that was crazy. That was insane. Reese, thank you so much for the membership. I really appreciate it. Adam John, Tim, you're a bloody legend. Thank you so much for everything you bring. Thank you very much. That really means a lot. This is, there's been little sleep for the past 5 days. I got decent sleep last night. I finally rolled in pretty late last night. But I'm ready for this. This is something I've been waiting on. I was looking at trying to find solutions for a 15-kilometer hop in February. So it's been 9 months in the making, really, for me at least, as far as just a production end. Obviously for SpaceX, this has been interesting. I want you guys, when you get a second, go watch the 2016 the ITS presentation at the International Aeronautical Congress in Guadalajara, Mexico. Give that a watch. Honestly, it was 2016. It was October-ish 2016. That's the first time that Elon introduced, what's now considered Starship, but back then it was called the ITS. Give that a watch because it's kind of prophetic, and actually a lot of stuff has come true since then that seemed laughable at the time. Between that and then also in 2018 Falcon Heavy demo mission, there's a lot of stuff that Elon talked about there about testing at Boca Chica that has absolutely come true, absolutely come to fruition, and it's quite frankly genuinely amazing that it's happening now. So it's fun to see that stuff happen now. So Tyrell, thank you so much for the membership. You're awesome. Matthew Davies says, is that seal number 8 or seal number 9? This is seal number 8 behind me. So this is the one that we've been seeing doing so many tests already. Still has not left the pad. And that's going to be the moment that's going to be pretty much life-altering, I think, for a lot of people. Will actually see proper flight, practicing the crazy maneuver, of course, because don't forget the maneuver, the belly flap to tail down maneuver is the big, the next level thing that Starship's doing that nothing's even attempted. There's never even been anything that's close to this. There's nothing I can't even explain something that would be anywhere similar to the belly flop to tail down maneuver that they're going to be attempting with Starship. So once they, this will be serial number 8 will be the first time they do practice or attempt that. It might take them a couple tries. This very well may take 3 or 4 or 5 tries, just like it took them a little while to actually be able to land and stick the landing for the Falcon 9 booster. And at the time, people were laughing at them, saying this is so stupid. You had seal number 4, where the grid fins actually ran out of, what happened to seal number 4? That's the one where the grid fins ran out of hydraulic fluid because they were an open loop system. So the grid fins actually got stuck in a position, came into the barge, and just went crazy. And then seal number 5, they had a stiction in, not seal number 5, sorry, this is the CRS-5, CRS-4, CRS-5, sorry. CRS-5 is when it had a sticky throttle valve, and that was in that would have been 2014 or 15. And then, then they finally did stick it for the first time on December 21st, 2015 with the OG2 mission, and ever since then, they still had some tricky spots trying to learn how to land it with, smaller margins and with more last minute things and just kind of refining that. But nowadays they're on 16, 17 successful landings in a row of the Falcon 9. So now it's become quite routine. And I think this, at first will start off absolutely insane and almost like a joke. Sorry, it's probably off to my left shoulder. I keep going like this, pointing off to nothing. Yeah, this thing will look pretty much, it'll be insane, but someday I think it'll be very routine. This is from Alec. Hello, Tim. My daughter Ember is asking how does a rocket engine work? Ooh, that is a loaded question, Ember. Ember, that's a fantastic question, though. So really, a rocket engine is quite literally, it's a machine that turns pressure into working thrust. So you take a high pressure thing, and what it's going to do is it's trying to convert as much of that high pressure gas into workable thrust. And the way it does it is by trying to accelerate. If you start throwing stuff, say you're sitting in an office chair and you have a bunch of, baseballs or something, you start chucking them. If you're in an office chair and you throw really hard and you have a ton of them, you're actually going to start being pushed back a little bit because you're throwing balls and there's an equal and opposite reaction to you throwing that mass fast, And a rocket engine is quite literally just that. It takes mass, which is the propellant, and it shoots it out of the nozzle as fast as it can, and it does it so much with so much mass flying out of that nozzle at absolutely these mind-boggling speeds that it actually starts to propel the rocket in the opposite direction, the equal and opposite direction. And so that's what's kind of crazy. Oh, this is a gorgeous shot, by the way. Holy crap! Yeah. So if you want to know how a rocket engine works, it's basically a Newton's third law machine. Watch my video. I have a video about how the Raptor engine works, and the first chapter of the Raptor engine video and the first chapter of the Aerospike video. Both will give you some good visuals that help you understand, how exactly is this working. But the biggest trick with rocket engines is increasing the pressure inside the combustion chamber and accelerating the propellant through the nozzle. That's how it works. The more pressure and the faster you accelerate that gas, the more work you can do. So fantastic question. Hope that helps. Ryan, when will the ailerons be straightened out? That's a great question. I hesitate to call them ailerons because, so here we go. Let's do a little tour of the ailerons, baby. It's hard to do this one-handed. Can you help me? Yeah. I don't know where the lock is. Yeah, so we're gonna do a little tour of the you go ahead and run it because it's hard for me to do it one-handed. So the flap, the flippity flap air brake, ailerons. Remember, the reason I hesitate to call them anything other than giant air brakes or ailerons is because they do not function like a normal aileron or like a normal flap or normal control surface. An airplane's control surfaces are always parallel to the wind stream. So, you have a wing like this, you fly the air and you change the airflow around the wing. When you change the airflow around the wing, you can actually deflect it, change the lift, change the drag on the wing, right? And that actually changes the amount of lift, and it induces roll, pitch, yaw, all the things. Starship, on the other hand, because it's falling like this, and its control surfaces will actually change by the air hitting it this way and deflecting off, so it's perpendicular to the airstream. That's why it's so different. That's why, when people say, you make a big deal out of these flaps like they've never been used before. They're used all the time. The closest thing is a split aileron. A split aileron on a like a B-2 bomber has a pair of them, and it induces yaw through drag. By opening up both of them on one side, you can actually induce drag, and that is perpendicular to the wind stream. So it's quite a unique control scheme for the most part. So hopefully that helps answer that question. As far as will they be straightened out, I don't know when they'll be straightened out, probably the day of launch. So that's probably a good sign. That might be our sign that it's getting close to doing something the day they straighten out the ailerons. They might actually do it right before launch, now I think about it, because of the wind. They might want to wait until it's T-minus 1 minute, straighten them out, because there could be a lot of torque on that with how windy it is here. If those are extended, they probably want to keep them tucked in as much as possible. I wouldn't be surprised if they command them to open up right before launch, actually. That's, guess I hadn't thought of that. Mediocre engineering. By the way, are the chats actually going up on screen and everything?
Yep.
Woo! We have like a mobile studio. I'm so excited. Oh, that is awesome. I'm sorry, I'm just excited. This is fun. And our solution, by the way, day of launch is going to be incredible, trust me. Mediocre Engineering asks, could Starship have an onboard greenhouse garden for growing food for long-term missions? I know the ISS has something similar for research purposes. I think realistically, that's one of the best things we can do for longer term, especially for Mars habitation, having, grow houses, solar panels, and then using just UV light or, grow lights or whatever, hydroponics. I think that is absolutely the future, and I don't see any reason why we can't have that, and I think we will indeed see that by the time Starship starts flying people on long duration missions. I think that's a very important part of long-term human spaceflight, definitely. Michael, thank you very much. I appreciate that. TB says, how many stages does the Starship that is going to 15 kilometer have? 2, like Falcon 9? No, TB. It'll be going to 15 kilometers with just a single stage. Just right what you see over my shoulder. Sorry, I keep doing over my shoulder this way. That's what's going to do it. And it could actually go basically a more finalized version, if it has more engines, could probably almost become an SSTO, a single stage to orbit vehicle, because it has that efficient of engines, it has that low of a mass fraction, but it will never do that because it does not have it would have a very low payload capability for that, and it wouldn't have the margins to come back and land most likely. So you'll never see it fly SSTO, but you might see some really high altitude, really high energy flights with just a single stage like this until they get ready to really go orbital, at which time they will put it up on the Super Heavy booster. Captain Space Chimp, I'm so pumped about getting down there, whether it's a big success or big boom. Space Chimp will be very happy. What lenses are you using for your close shots? So for this, we're just using the close shots. We're on a 50 to 500. It's just a cheap Sigma that's good enough and is on a micro four thirds lens. So we have basically 1,000 millimeters of focal length there, effective focal length. The one we're shooting on here, the other E2, is this actually the E6? Yeah, S6, I mean, yeah. So that's shooting on an 18 to 35 f1.8. So we have that. We have a 120 to 300 f2.8. We'll have 4,000 millimeters on a telescope. We'll have a couple other things, 200 millimeters on something else, and yeah, we have a lot. It's gonna be awesome. Super Cleary Photo says, contribution to the coffee fund. Thank you for getting there. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you very much, Super. Don't worry, I've got you covered. We're going to have some awesome stuff to show you guys. AVFWT, can you wave to serial number 8 for me? Safe travels, Tim. Hey, serial number 8 from AVFWT. Yeah, we're staying safe. We'll be obviously outside of the exclusion zone on launch day, and that'll be awesome. This is from Henrique says, it's a membership from Henrique. Thank you so much. A friendly astronaut says, how many G's do you think it will pull? Actually, Andrew, do we have that data? Do you remember how many G's it's going to pull? We will actually have that. Hopefully. We're going to show that on air, thanks to Declan Murphy from Flight Club. Declan has modeled it. We know, we know the approximate weight of the vehicle. We know the approximate amount of fuel it'll have. We know how much thrust the engines produce. We have decent aerodynamic models to know basically everything that could and will happen. So we'll know. I don't think it'll exceed more than about 2 G's on ascent, if I remember right. It's going to be pretty low. It's thinking. So we'll let you know. And then the other part of it is we'll have on descent. I don't think it'll be that high either. That's what's crazy is the actual belly flop maneuver. Although it looks absolutely spectacular, it might actually be a fairly low G load as far as the actual peak G load. So yeah. David Willis, Tim, go touch it. I don't think I want to get shot today. That is not on my to-do list, but thank you, David. Keep up with the great work with all your 3D modeling. You're doing fantastic, and good to hear from you. This is from Eric. Dude, how do you get on the press list to get this close? Tell us the secrets. The secret is we're standing on a public road here. This is how close you can get, just right here. I mean, there is no press list. This is the crazy thing is that they're doing this basically right next to public property. To get inside the fence, of course, you have to have special permissions. So hopefully when we do a tour, obviously we will have permissions to do that. So please don't come and try to enter any of the property. Please, 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 please. This is from, what was that? A little over 3. Is that on ascent or descent? On descent, it'll pull 3 Gs. But on ascent, hey, that's awesome. So there's people here that I'm excited to see. Nomad and Boca Chica Mary. That's awesome. Okay, so this is from Aerodynamic. Oh, why don't the Raptors launch throttled all the way down to avoid damage to the pad and then throttle up once it's far enough? Well, that's the thing. If you throttle them down, you're not going anywhere. You have to have your thrust to weight ratio higher than 1, and they're actually going to need a very fair amount of fuel in it. So it's going to require almost a higher, like probably pretty much maximum thrust to actually get off the pad in the first place. That's kind of part of the whole rocket equation thing. That's part of the tyranny of the rocket equation is you have to have a lot of thrust to lift a lot of weight. And in order to get higher, have higher flights, longer flights, higher altitudes, you actually have to, increase the amount of fuel. And it's honestly, pretty crazy. Hang on, I got to check one thing here real quick. There, I'm just going to do that for a little bit. No, this is just, I'm thinking for the thing. Yeah, sorry. How about that for communication? Communication skills, Tim, 100%. So Aerodynamic, they basically are going to have to fully gun it in order to even get off the ground. So Brian Clausen, how's it going? Fun with Tim and Boca Chica Coast. At least you're learning new skills. Awesome, and Go SpaceX. Yeah, trust me, there's always a lot of crazy things that can happen and go wrong when you're trying to do live streams. It is like a totally different world from everything else. And I think we have a pretty good solution, fairly robust, and it will be much better when we're not on site. So on site, we're very stripped down actually. The solution that we will have for the actual flight is going to be absolutely crazy. So this is from bittenin. Sorry, it's in Cyrillic, so I can't read it, but how many heat tiles do you think Starship can lose on descent without disintegrating? That's a fantastic, the cool thing is, with stainless steel on its own can probably actually survive reentry. It just won't look great. It can start to deform. It can be very, very, very bad. As a matter of fact, there's instances where the Centaur upper stage has actually remained intact and deorbited and actually hit the ground in mostly one piece. So that's the thing about stainless steel is it has a much higher melting point. You don't need as much heat shield. So therefore, a missing heat shield wouldn't be nearly as detrimental. You might put a big scorch mark. You might puncture the hole. You might actually burn a hole through, lose pressure, which would be very bad. But you're likely to actually, hopefully, not totally lose the entire thing, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But the thing about the space shuttle, of course, the actual fuselage was aluminum. But there's times where there's a missing heat shield tile, or there's a couple times where there's a heat shield tile, and luckily one of the times where they had a big chunk of it missing, there was steel right behind the part that was missing that saved the vehicle. If the steel hadn't been there, if there wasn't a steel antenna plate behind there, it would have been literally the loss of a shuttle. So this is from Gerald Sudd, says, everybody astronaut, because if Tim Dodd comes to Texas, things will happen. I'm not saying I have some kind of crystal ball, but I've been tank watching enough and doing enough of this with Star. I did this so much last year with Starhopper and things that I definitely have a little bit of a sense of when it's worth it to try to come down. This is from Taue, says, this is ground control to Major Tim. You really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. That's awesome. Of course, this is the Everyday Astronaut Full Flow Stage Combustion Cycle hoodie. Available now, everydayastronaut.com/shop. 15% off through Monday. This is from Space News Pod. This is awesome. Thanks, Tim. You're welcome, Space News Pod. I really appreciate you saying hi. This is Perfino, a new membership. Thank you very much. This is from Arkady Kraportov. Says, just thank you very much. This is from Paul Sheridan, says, do you think Starship moon orbit mission will happen in the next 3 years? As far as a lunar orbit mission of Starship, ooh, cool, I have a field monitor now. Also, you know what, I'm probably going to need a USB-C charge on this, actually. I think because I'm using data, it's starting to fade. So if you happen to find a solution there, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, so anyway, a moon orbit mission, we have to think about how many things have to be complete in order to actually get into lunar orbit. Because remember, a Starship on its own, even with a super heavy booster, like a Starship system, without refueling, can literally only get out to a geostationary transfer orbit, maybe a little bit more than that, but it cannot get to the moon without refueling. It is too heavy, has too much dry mass, has to lug those fins, the flaps, the landing legs, all the spare engines, the seed level engines, all the extra things, has to lug that stuff all around with it anytime it's going anywhere. So to get to the moon, it requires about 2 or 3 refueling trips that each one of them takes about 150 tons, metric tons of fuel to refill. So there's going to be refuel trips in order to get it even on a flyby to the moon. It'll take 2 or 3 trips. I think it's about 2 full tankers to do a flyby even. And so we have to think about how many things have to be in place in order to get that to happen. We have to have super heavy up and flying. We have to have the landing and the reflight of starships to happen, because then we have to have refuel tankers that are able to rapidly refuel and refly. I just feel like, personally, I'm to the point where I'm thinking, like, if we see a refuel happen, you know, it has to be a back-to-back launch basically. That would, I'll be absolutely blown away if that even happens in the next 3 years, pretty much. If it happens by the end of 2023, I will be very happy, because that will unlock almost everything else. Once you can refuel, you can do pretty much everything. This is from Mark Place. Thank you so much for the membership. Shep1623. Hey Tim, what's it like to be seeing seal number 8 in person, and what is it like to see all the stuff down there in person? Shep, great question. You know, we've all seen so many shots of this thing, of the pad, of all the infrastructure out here at Boca Chica. It's been over a year. The last time I was here was for the Starship event last year when I interviewed Elon. It's been a long time, and it's still, this has that, when I go out to Kennedy Space Center, I get these chills every time. There's just this energy about it. You're part of history, but pulling up to here, you feel like you're part of history at the beginning of it. You're in the history. You're not reminiscing about the past part of history. You're actually living and you're witnessing what's going to be in the history books, or the history everything. It's a weird feeling. It's just bizarre, and seeing how quickly things have changed. Driving by, seeing seal number 5, seal number 6, waving to them, seeing how big and massive seal number 8 is. I mean, it's all, honestly, it's ridiculous. It is so weird to see. So yeah, good question. It's definitely worth probably trying to get down here someday in the future when things are kind of getting back to normal, and once this place is hatched out more, because it's becoming an actual launch facility, which is absolutely wild. Trevor, thank you so much, Trevor. We love you. Everyone say thank you to Trevor. Trevor is one of our very hardworking crews that does all the website crew stuff. So yeah, Trevor is amazing, and so is the rest of the website crew. This is from Thorko. I promise $5 if you remove the mask. Thank you. Once we're away from people, it is safe to do so, of course. Yes. Thank you very much, Thorko. This is from Flip. Hi, how am I? I'm good. How are you? Wait, is that Philip? Philip, sorry. How are you, Philip? I'm fantastic. I'm still pretty exhausted. The last, like I said, the last 4 days have been very, very low sleep, high energy, a lot of things to do. We are flipping the new web store around on Thursday night. I was up until 3 and woke up at 7:30 basically to keep working on it. It's been a lot of hard work lately, but it's all worth it, because this is something that is absolutely worth seeing, and I'm really, really, really excited to be down here. So yeah, thank you very much. Toby, how's it going? Hey Tim, how do you think seal number 8 will land, since the landing pad is so close to the launch pad downrange? Toby, that's a really good question, because the landing pad is basically right here. I don't know if you guys probably can't quite see that. I wonder what the best way to try to, I can try and do this. This might not be the most elegant solution I've ever done in my life, but So check out. So here's, Gene or somebody, you guys want to run that real quick so I can just kind of point to it. So yeah, Gene, show us. Okay, so obviously right now you can see Starship, and at some point, it's going to be over here with a landing pad. Is that right over? It's kind of hard, just over the fence. So go ahead and turn the camera.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see it.
It's all right. We'll give people a sense of the angle. So check this out. So all the way until about there. Let's get a marker on it for him. So that little. Let's see. Those things that are kind of protruding above the fence line right there. That's about where the landing pad is, around there. So That's not very far. You know, we're talking maybe 200 meters or so. So think like 2 football fields away, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a very good gauge. Nomad, do you know how far it is from landing pad to?
Something like 300 meters.
300 meters. Yeah, it's not very far at all. And, you know, I keep wondering, when they actually do the landing, I can't imagine that they're going to be wanting to fly basically east to west, you know, or west to east, because, you know, if they mess up, they'll end up landing, potentially going too far, swinging too far, and ending up on their launch infrastructure, potentially landing on their tank farm. I would imagine they'd want to go at some kind of an angle, you know, maybe northwest to south, you know, southeast to northwest, you know, or something like that, some kind of flight path that makes it so if they do miss, they just are out here in the middle of nowhere. Actually, I could imagine they'll want to almost go straight from the south to the north, because out here there's nothing. There's nothing you could hit. There's no infrastructure. So we'll have to see what the actual flippity floppity thing, how it ends up going and what they end up doing. So who knows? Evan, what's the difference between belly flop and the normal Falcon 9 reentry, and why the change? Also great to see you in the wild again. Can't wait for the hop. Evan, definitely watch my Starship versus Falcon 9, because we go exactly through that landing procedure and all of that cool stuff. Because here's the big deal. Starship, of course, is going to be coming in from reentry. The Starship is an upper stage. What we're seeing right here is eventually just the upper stage of an entire orbital class rocket. There will be a booster that's twice as big as this that we'll eventually see in the wild. Andrew, should we crank the exposure up a little bit?
This guy, yeah.
All right. Sorry, you're going to see some clickety-click, flickery-doos here in just a second. So, yeah, because it has to re-enter, you really want to maximize and utilize as much of the surface area as possible to help slow down, to be able to adjust and actually glide and have cross range and all of the things that you need to do in order to come back in from your entry. Kind of like I don't want to say like the space shuttle, but kind of like the space shuttle. Ooh, she's breathing. She's breathing. That's awesome. Sweet. What do you have there? Is that is this Martite?
Sure.
Can I show it on stream? Yeah. look what Nomad has here. This is some of the Martite. This is some of the. You want to switch to A-cam real quick?
Yeah. Concrete on the bottom.
So it's
the epoxy looking stuff on the top.
This side is the Martite?
Yeah, that's why it gave way. It just pulled the concrete in half.
Wow. Look at that. So this is the Martite on this side. This is the concrete on the other. What we're pretty familiar with concrete on this side, but this side is the Martite. So that is super, super cool. That's what they're having to constantly patch and repair and fix up over and over and over and over again, because each time they light this beast without a flame trench, they're basically destroying this layer of concrete here. That's awesome. Thank you, Nomad. Super cool. So yeah, so that's hopefully we get something a little more substantial here for the launch site here soon. Teslatino, awesome. Thank you for all your efforts, Tim. We do need another beer one of these days. Yes, someday when the world is back to normal, we can have gatherings, and I'm really excited for that. It'll be awesome. Eric Rubenstein, thank you so much for the para-character. I really appreciate that. Daniel for the membership. Bryce Jacobs, the kids want to know, are all Raptors needed for landing? If one fails, will they be able to land with an engine down? We'll be tuning in this week. So that's kind of the beauty. In theory, I don't know if these initial flights will have the redundancy, but that's the cool thing about having 3 engines. Eventually, we'll be able to potentially probably do a landing with just one engine fully throttled, depending on where another engine goes down. But so if you can potentially lose up to 2 Raptors at some given point, depending on the flight profile and all that stuff. But it definitely has some redundancy. For sure, it could lose one eventually. Again, with these first ones, they might not have a good enough algorithm. They might not have a good enough redundancy package and an avionics suite to be able to say, oh, we lost this engine, now switch to this, change to this profile, do all these things. So it might not be hardwired in yet and programmed in yet, but in the future, that's one of the big reasons why they have multiple Raptor engines. So they do have some redundancy, which is super, super cool. So thank you very much, Bryce. Richard L., glad you made it to Southern Texas, Tim. Where will you be watching the 15-kilometer flight from? We will be at a secret location pretty much near South Padre Island. So, yeah, so stay tuned. I'm not going to give it away exactly, so just stay tuned. Lit says, how fast do you think it'll go during the belly flop? We actually, again, we can probably pull it up here. For the live stream, once we actually are streaming from our streaming location, we'll be able to pull up like telemetry from Flight Club and stuff like that and show you guys exactly what the flight plan looks like, what the altitude, what's the maximum velocity on reentry.
I can put it up.
You can put it up?
Yeah. What do you want, the 3D or the 2D?
Give me the, I don't know, the 2D, whatever is easy. Is that a full moon right now?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Woohoo!
You want to spin the camera around?
Yeah, let's spin the camera around here. You guys are now about to get, we're about to see Andrew. Hi, Andrew. And a moon, maybe. Hold on. It's beautiful. Jim, why don't you run that again? How fast will, Andrew, how fast will it go during the belly flop? There's a beautiful full moon out here. We got a Tejas size full moon.
Pull this up, hang on.
Andrew's going to try and pull it up. So this is something fairly experimental for us. And we'll let you know exactly how fast, or approximately how fast. It's a pretty good simulation. So this is from,
All right, it's up.
it's up. All right. So first off, thanks for that thank you very much, Sods of Beaches Metal. I'm just going to look here. Velocity. It looks like on the way down, it's going to be going about 120 meters per second at maximum on the way down. 127 meters per second on the way back down, which is what? Like, oh, I think you pretty much double it. Austin will let us know. Okay, so thank you very much again. Sods of Beaches. This is Eric Seacrest to help Tim with my ticket to Mars. I'm not going to Mars, Eric. But thank you, Eric. Not going to Mars. James. Everybody asked, hey, Tim, would be great to safely grab Starship Boca Chica Mary for a chat. Well, if we can talk Mary and or Nomad into popping on stream, if she's around, I don't know where she might be. Knowing her, she's working. I feel like she's always working. But we can see if we can get her on stream.
How you doing, man? I'm
good.
David.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to, we're having an afterburner party. I own Rocket Ranch. It's,
Oh, cool.
It's down the way.
Right.
And after this thing goes, we're gonna have a free talk with some beer.
Oh, cool.
If you're interested, so.
Sounds good. Is it outdoors?
It's outdoors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I will hit you guys up then.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. All
Sounds
right.
good. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Awesome, guys. All right. This is from. Is Mary around?
You have your other mic?
I do, but
I also have this.
well, even if she's close enough. Yeah, it'd be great to get.
We got a charger too, by the way.
Oh, that's good to know. That's awesome. Thank you.
Closer than going over across the bay.
Sweet. That's awesome. Good news. If we can get Mary on here, I mean, if she wants to, we'll get her on camera because. And I feel like we should probably get Gene and Rachel in here too, because I feel like you guys never get to see. Well, you've been seeing Gene's back basically. But we'll work on it. Mark, if Elon gives you a factory tour, think there's a charger on site that you can bum a charge from. Thanks for all your great coverage. Yeah, there is definitely a charger on site that you can bum a charge from. Period. Trust me. Mark, love your work. Do you have any idea what time in the launch window it'll launch? I'm from Germany and I gotta sleep at some point. We don't even know what day, let alone what time it's gonna launch. So, no idea. You're gonna be tuning in for way too long. We'll have no idea when, not even to the day at this point. Even on the day of, we'll be lucky if we get any idea of a T0. So. It likely will be a daytime launch, I think, just for FAA reasons and all that stuff. I think it will be a daytime launch in the U.S., but likely they've never done any operation, I don't think, before noon. I don't think there's ever been an operation before noon. So likely that's from about noon till 6 Central Time, which would be 1800 UTC to basically 2 the next day. So it'll be nighttime for those of you that are in Europe, but I think it will 100% be happening during the day. So, ooh, I can be a guy with a mic. you guys want to talk to Austin and stuff too? We got to get Austin in here. And let's take a real quick break from this. And I can save some batteries. Let's get Austin real quick. I want to be a guy with a mic. Oopsies.
Back to you.
Now back to you. This is my dream. I'm living my dream. I'm a real life news thing, Mom. Look. Okay, Austin, come here.
All right.
Austin, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being down here. Thanks for always, teaching us everything about the best everything in the world. Everyone, this is the infamous Austin Bernard. Do you want to throw us up on full screen quick while we got not much happening? Austin, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
I guess I can just talk through the little pal. Yeah, why don't you hold this? So, Austin has been out here. He's a local, obviously. Been covering this thing for, has it been 2 years now?
2 years and about a week now.
Make sure it's pointing right, yeah.
I've been covering since the birth of Starhopper for about 2 years and a week now.
Oh, yeah, because I remember seeing your post the other day. It was pretty crazy. So, what are you most excited for? Like, what, I want to hear, first off, like, are you excited to see potentially a boom? Are you here NASCAR style to see a boom? Or are you hoping this thing sticks the landing?
So, as a believer in the dream, I want to see this land. Realistically, I know we're going to see a boom. I'm hoping for a landing, hopefully, but
I know.
we're going to see a boom.
What are your odds? What are your odds that we see it just live, that it lands and you'll see it live another day?
I'm going to give it a 33.33333333%.
Okay, Austin's at a third. I want to know what chat is all into. I feel like I'm not nearly that optimistic that it'll be that good. I'm down around 10% of it actually landing and living. But
I'm confident in the flight. I'm not confident in the landing.
Yeah.
Those legs, especially the little chicken nugget legs.
It has to totally zero out its velocity and be really like perfectly controlled during that last little phase of landing. So it's gonna be crazy.
I'm just excited just being here because it feels like this whole city has never had anything to dream about, and I feel that there is a symbol of hope and a goal that everyone can strive towards, something that every single student down here can study towards. There's a dream for people can be like geeks like us, that I could be an engineer, maybe I could be a future explorer of a new world. Maybe if I just work hard enough or study hard enough,
Yes.
I too can be an astronaut.
And contribute to humanity going and exploring the world, the actual rest of the world, not just planet Earth.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most exciting things is knowing that like anyone can change their path of course and do something absolutely bonkers. So, yeah. Hey, Andrew, real quick, can we bump exposure again? It looks like we're getting to be Silhouette City. Ooh, I got stands in the back seat of the car. If you need to do that, but we can also keep bumping exposure for a little bit. But yeah, have we seen Mary again?
No, I think she went somewhere down there.
I was hoping to get her. Okay, if we see her.
Out hunting pieces of
Oh, they're looking for more Martite and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. That is pretty epic. So far in your time out here, obviously your whole life, but what is what's the craziest thing you've seen so far? You've seen it all.
MK1 go boom. That was honestly like, I wasn't here. I was in class for SN4, so I didn't get to see that luxury explosion.
Yeah.
But MK1 when boom on its cryo, that was one of the biggest, I guess, just explosions that I've ever seen. It wasn't really explosions, more like a boom. But
Yeah.
Still, like,
yeah.
I've never seen anything like more insane. Oh, Starhopper's flight, just being able to feel like the whole. It felt like heaven and earth was just shaking down to my whatever my being is.
Right.
And everything it was just breathtaking.
Yeah, I agree. Starhopper so far all I've seen, but you were pretty close for serial number 5 and serial number 6 though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those were pretty nuts, or?
It was. So SF5, man, when I took off from the stand, I saw a big explosion, and I just you just see the.
You're stepping a little bit here. There you go.
I'm
No, you're
too
good.
close to you. You
Yeah.
call it
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
You call it So when SN5 took off from the stand, and the dust cloud of debris, or not debris, but I guess just dirt that picked up.
And part of the launch pad.
And part of the launch pad, and you just saw that I guess the fuel lines disconnected and all that just got vaporized and just ignited, which caused the whole backside of the pad A to just go boom.
Yeah.
And when I saw it tilting at with a 15-degree angle
Yeah.
to counteract its balance, so the Raptor had to keep gimbaling. but and just seeing that, I thought it rutted, and right before my very eyes. But then when it lifted above the cloud of just smoke,
yeah,
I wanted to cry. It was just something. It was beautiful.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
I'm just happy that we get to be alive for the experience this moment. I truly believe we're living in the first moments of human history. We will settle the worlds, and I think that we're lucky that we get to see it happen and be born right before our very eyes.
It's insane, actually, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Well, awesome. Love you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Here you go.
Yes. And now back to you, John. All right, let's get back to a couple of you guys' super chats here, and try and keep some information going here before we got to wrap out, because we probably have to, we're definitely fighting some sunlight and stuff, but it looks like we're doing okay. We at least have a fill light now. This is becoming a real mobile studio. It looks like we do have just. Let's see, Austin's mic is low. It looks like I might have problems with data here, but all right, let's see here. So this is from Chris saying, Tim, Falcon 9 goes supersonic at 10 kilometers. Do you think Starship will go supersonic before it gets to 15 kilometers? And will the moving surfaces survive max Q? So if I remember right, did we hear in the FAA filing that this actually is not going supersonic at any point? I believe it's not going supersonic. So. And if it is, it always goes, it's going supersonic on ascent. Don't forget, your max or your speed of sound changes with altitude and pressure. So, and temperature changes basically on a lot of things. So pressure and temperature do change your local speed of sound. So, what sea level speed of sound would be different at 10K, 15, 20K. So I don't quite remember. I don't think it actually is going supersonic at any point. Mic's not working. Oh, hang on. Are we still up actually? Because I might be fighting. Hang on. Sorry, let me double check here. You're saying I probably should have had the iPad with me at all times, even when Austin was with me, because I probably could have. All right, so we're getting a lot of questions on when. We don't know. We're seeing a static fire now tomorrow that we didn't know was going to happen. Until today. Now we're seeing that there's going to be a static fire tomorrow, which is, Monday? I'm already lost track of all time and place and existence. Monday, yeah, we will see a static fire again, and then hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday-ish, something like that, we will then see the flight, but we still have no time or anything like that. So, so Chris, great question, and hopefully it all works out. I seem to have maybe lost... Oh, Austin's mic was super quiet. Sorry, we did forget headphones out here, so we did not have a good way to audio. Hopefully you guys still heard some of the things Austin was saying, because we all love Austin. Austin embodies why this is so exciting. He is. So I'm kind of losing. I've lost control of your super chats for the moment. Let me see if I can get back into it. YouTube might be okay. Looks like you guys are. Okay, so like I said, guys, this is just a very mobile, stripped down version of our actual mobile studio. We will have a lot of stuff all figured out and tested, all that stuff set up and ready to go. Probably even by tomorrow for the static fire. Actually, we might. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. We might just strip it all the way down and not even bring the whole mobile studio. We might just do a camera or something. But we'll see. We will see. I'm sorry. There is still no a TFR for Space Ops Above. We do not have a TFR, which is a. Excuse me, that is the flight, or the, what's the TFR? Why can't I think of what that stands for? Temporary flight restriction. Thank you guys. Man, I was having a brain fart. Need more sleep. Yeah, there is no TFR yet. Imagine says, how long does it take for them to swap out a Raptor motor? How modular are they? I assume that they're very modular plug-and-play motor would be ideal for them if they're using so many. So eventually, yes, they will all be 100% streamlined, basically a repeat, but they aren't even to the point yet where they're really becoming, the Raptors, so many of them are still kind of bespoke. They're still in development and things like that. So it's not quite to the point yet where when they fly a Raptor, there probably are some unique variances between each and every Raptor that might require some additional considerations, additional notes, additional things like that when they're plugging away at them. But I think as far as swapping them, I think they can do it relatively quickly within a day or two. So yeah, I don't actually know for offhand exactly how long that takes, but hang on, I'm trying to get you guys pulled up here. I totally lost track of the chat. I would love to be able to put those up for you guys. But it's becoming a little bit harder right now. It looks like I may have missed $50. Holy cow, from somebody. Thank you so much. Let me try and find that. From Jeff Roberts from Giga, Texas. Awesome. I drove right by Giga, Texas, Jeff. Thank you so much for helping build the future, in my opinion. That is super exciting. Yeah, that is awesome. I really appreciate that. So Lucian wants to know percentage chance I give him of a flap breaking off. Well, that goes into my, like I said, I think there's only about a 40% chance that it even gets from 15 kilometers down to the point of trying to relight the engine. Because I think there's a pretty high risky, that's going to be something they've never done before. I mean, obviously, I believe that they've engineered in all the stresses. They know all the load points. They know, all the torque that's required to actually open up the flaps and provide some kind of control authority. So they know all these are known variables that's part of aerospace engineering. That's part of engineering, period. But we don't have any of that. I mean, I think that's pretty low. I don't think anything will break off. I think it'd be very unlikely to see a flap snap off or something. I think it's more likely that we'd see one jam up or jar up or have some kind of control problem where the PIDs, the actual inputs basically of them, the control loop, the feedback could be off, where they think oh, you need to rotate it 10 degrees for 2 degrees of angle of attack on the vehicle or something. In real life, it's double that or half of that, and it can lead to huge oscillations. I think that's the bigger risk, is that the modeling didn't quite correlate directly to what we're seeing in real life. So that's my personal bet, but I have no idea. Are you able to, Andrew, by any chance, are you able to pull up Tomorrow Chat on your phone?
Yeah.
Just let's see if we can get that going, because I've totally lost it, which makes it really hard. We got Aaron. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your chat. For the Force Tim and the piano onto Starship Mars or Starship Fund. You're not doing that. You are not doing that. Hey Tim, I'd love to know. Work with you, man. Do research. Hey Tim, I'd love to work with you, man. Do research. You want to do research, or you want me to do more research? Because I'm already in over my head on research. If you want to do some research, we have a pretty dedicated crew and all that stuff. I'm actually fortunate enough that a lot of Patreon supporters in our Discord channel oftentimes are the ones that are helping me do research. They're the ones that are like, hey, I got this great idea or whatever, and are the ones kind of plugging in and finding things. Yeah, so I have a pretty good team behind us. So, yeah. Hangtime Central says, do you think the center of mass will be affected when they add all the tiles? If so, how will they attempt to fix that? So this, of course, there is the consideration that the tiles will change, but luckily, for the most part, nose to aft, the actual amount of weight should be, it shouldn't change that amount, but it will obviously, actually the tiles having extra weight on them will put the center of mass. Andrew, why don't you actually run?
Yeah, I found where you are in there.
Okay, cool. I need to go up a little bit.
Okay.
I've missed a lot. I don't even know. But if anything, having extra tiles on the belly during the belly flop maneuver will actually help maintain stability, because it will move that center of mass closer in front of the center of lift of those flaps. So that's, if anything, a good thing. This is from Robert Clements, going up a little bit here. Elon should go to the poles of Mercury before Mars. He'll find enough precipitated precious metals there to become the first trillionaire and send a fleet of ships to Mars. So getting to and landing on Mercury is extremely high energy. It takes a lot of energy to get to Mercury. I think it's almost harder to get to Mercury. I don't quite remember the delta V charts on it, but it's extremely hard to actually get to and land on Mercury, especially because you don't really have an atmosphere to slow you down. You have to do it all propulsively, all with rocket power, and so therefore the rocket power required to do it's extremely hard to get to Mercury. The thing with the whole idea of rare earth metals and stuff like that, if we start bringing in and introducing what was once a fixed quantity, I think it'll sway the amount that those materials are worth. But I don't know enough about that. Let's see here. This is from Emmett. I'm going up the list here a little bit. Emmett, Tim, I'm currently on Isla Blanca Beach, South Padre. The Starship view is perfect. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a place to film. Emmett, we've got it already. We've got a cool place that we're going to be streaming from. So thank you very much, Emmett. That is an awesome place. Marcel, thank you very much. Arthur, The main question is whether a big party of all the people regularly providing Starship coverage already planned. Tim, NSF, Lab, and many others. Personally, Arthur, I won't probably be doing any gatherings outside of maybe if we can, like, I would love to see people and be able to kind of hang out in a large group on the beach or something where we can remain at a safe distance. Again, remember, the United States is currently setting records for the pandemic. It's not the right time to be gathering in groups of people that came from all over the United States to one place. That's like the worst thing you should do right now. So I personally won't be partaking in that. I would love to see my friends. I would love to be able to see people. Yeah, but the idea of gathering, especially like in a bar or some kind of enclosed space is definitely not the smart thing to do right now. We can wait for it. We can wait, and hopefully in 6 months, a year, it's not a big deal. We can go back to life is normal like we all want. That is the ultimate goal. Let's see. Phil G wants to know, hey Tim, how far above the ground will Starship start belly flopping maneuver? It's only at about 1,000 meters, maybe a little higher. So only like 3,000, 4,000 feet above the ground is when it's going to do that belly flop maneuver, which is the most insane thought in the world because it's falling at 127 meters per second. That's quite fast. Did we look up how fast 120 meters per second is in kilometers an hour?
I forgot.
Hey Siri, how fast is 127 meters per second in kilometers an hour?
127 meters per second is 457.
Okay, so it's basically 3 times that. So 450 miles per hour, so that's about 300 or so, or 450 kilometers an hour, so about 300 miles an hour. That's still screaming. It's still screaming, and it's going to be coming in for a reentry for that. Or it's going to be doing that, only, like right there, basically. That is the silliest thing in the world. Yeah, Mark Saker, hi Tim, congrats on the massive drive. This is going to be a hell of a week. Glad to hear the report. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm excited and happy to be here. David Dunn, Tim, can you say hi to my mom, Donna, in Branson, Missouri? Awesome. We're both watching from different places in the U.S. Well, David, I'm glad that you and Donna are able to watch together from throughout the United States, but also I love that there's people watching throughout the world for this. This is something very exciting that we can all come together about, be excited about, and celebrate together. This is something worth being excited for better or worse. What land or flop, flip or flop? I don't know. It's going to be something worth seeing, that's for sure. So let's see here. Mauricio Diaz says, hi Tim, maybe not your main topic, but do you think that the radiation will be an issue for humans on future Mars missions? Thanks for the great content. Yes, it is. I mean, it is an issue, but it's really, I think it's one of those things that we all just think is just like zero G. Like, yeah, it's an issue, but is it a game-changing issue for a huge, future, pushing humanity forward in the grand scheme of things? How big of an issue? In my opinion, the radiation, and from what I understand, this is again something I've not looked into too much. I've only read a couple different articles talking about it, but it seems like your dosage of radiation for a 2-year trip to Mars and back, assuming that you can be in some kind of relatively protected radiation, shielded environment on Mars, let's say underground or a habitation that has a little bit of shielding considerations, your dosage of radiation wouldn't be too much more than a person that smokes. I don't remember if it's like several cigarettes or a pack a day, but yeah, it's survivable. It might not be your best life choice if you want to be the first people to go to Mars, sans substantial radiation shielding, but I think it is absolutely survivable. So Matthew says, hey Tim, won't the amount of refueling reduce as super heavy gets more efficient? Yeah, I mean, eventually, as they tweak, I think they could, and not only super heavy, but Starship itself too will become more mass efficient. They'll continue to tweak it. They could make bigger super heavies that can do more work. That would increase the payload capacity, which therefore can increase the tanker capacity. There's a lot of tweaks that I think will happen from Starship in the future. Gray Dev says, hey Tim, super excited for 15-kilometer hop. Have I spotted any ULA snipers yet? Nope, I think we're clear. There's some good security here, so I think we're good. CSpace, just bought one of your cozy full flow hoodies. Keep me warm during winter. Love it, CSpace. Thank you very much. That is awesome. I really appreciate you. Again, if you guys want one of these full flow stage combustion cycle hoodies with some of the specs about Starship right here on the sleeve, so you won't forget about the Raptor engine, we do have it here. There's lots of cool custom things, and of course, the full flow stage combustion cycle engine on the back. If you want that, it is 15% off, along with everything in my web store through Monday for Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. 15% off of everything in the web store. That's everydayastronaut.com/shop if you guys want to help me pay for the lodging and all of the considerations of getting down here to cover this for you guys. That's the easiest and most fun way, is probably shopping at everydayastronaut.com/shop. So thank you guys so much for those of you that have purchased merchandise this week. Thank you. It really, really means a lot. Scott, thank you. I will definitely enjoy my stay here. I really appreciate it. Craig Johnson, yep. Wait, is Starship cheaper or more expensive than SLS to take the same payload to lunar orbit, considering your usability savings and refueling costs? Craig, I have a video for you already, and we'll do more. We'll actually do one more video that we'll probably be shooting the intro to here about what is the cost, the true cost, what options do we have besides SLS and Orion to get humans to the moon, including the cost of, like, can we fly anything else? Is there any other option to get humans to the moon by 2024, 2025? But yes, definitely watch my SLS versus Starship video. Definitely watch my, I'm about to lose battery on this thing too, by the way.
Yeah, the laptop just died. I'm booting it back up.
Everybody, this is basically, I think, becoming the end of the stream for us. But Lab Padre, thank you so much for the tip. You're awesome. Thank you for all you do too, Lab. You're awesome. Really appreciate it. Paulo, thank you so much. I think Starship will replace airliners. I have a video about that. I don't know. We'll have to see. That's one of those things. Let me get through a couple of these bigger ones here real quick, but then we better wrap it up since we're. Oh, Dean Peach, thank you, Dean Peach. You are amazing. You're a real peach, Dean. I really, really appreciate that. Very, very, very generous of you, Randy. Enjoy a Batana platter while you are in the RGV. Okay, but Batana platter. I don't even know what that is, but count me in for Batana. But am I saying that right? So it's so weird. Batana platter it is. T-Wolf Jagger says the Ailerons are going to be electrically actuated, not hydraulically, right? Oh, I lost it. Okay, so yes, let me just kind of, I'm sorry, guys. Again, this is not our permanent solution. This is a very last minute thing of let's kind of test out some stuff and get out here. So that being said, so as we know right now, we do believe they've gone to direct drive. I think they've gone direct drive for the flaps now. For a little bit, there was some talk of hydroelectric, where basically you're spinning pumps. You're running electric pumps to spin the hydraulic actuators and stuff like that to actually run the hydraulic lines and all that stuff. But now they're pretty much direct drives, likely quite literally like Tesla engines or Tesla motors. I mean, geared to the right amount of torque, all that stuff to be able to handle the flaps. So that is how the flaps are actuated at this point. So we think so. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and how can we wrap it up, actually, if we don't have...
Give me like 5 minutes.
Okay, we have 5 minutes until Andrew's got a way to be able to kill the stream, because otherwise it's just going to be a black screen. So it looks like you guys get to just hang out with me. I don't have a way to put comments up on screen because everything's dying. Do we not have a USB-C? Oh.
I couldn't find one. Well, this is, but I'm using it.
For the laptop?
Yeah.
For my laptop? Or for your laptop? Wait.
For this laptop.
I've got an idea.
Hey Tim, man, I wanted to meet you. I'm a
Hey,
big fan of yours. Love
awesome,
the channel,
awesome.
and I really love you guys' podcast.
Well, oh, really?
Yeah, I listen to that a lot of my hikes and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying hi. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. All right. Hey, I found a solution. So at least we can charge this baby up. Let's plug that guy in.
Well,
Do we not have a...
No, we don't have a power strip.
We don't have a power strip. Not even on the big battery pack?
No, we just got one
We're using it all? Crap.
occupied.
Is there a USB-C on one of these? I think there's on this one, right? What about the other one? Where's the big boy?
Right there. I can end this.
There's a USB-C on here somewhere. I thought. Oh, just regular USB. Yeah, this is what you guys are tuned in for sure. This is what the world needs. Okay, well, I guess we'll just not worry about it now.
We can wrap up now.
Okay. All right. Well, my friends, now that you've seen a whole lot of nothing. So, to summarize, we are hopefully about T-minus within 24 hours of seeing another static fire of Starship. That's the last we know. I will be here until this thing flies, or until Christmas. I don't know. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm going to see this thing fly. I'm absolutely here to see this thing fly. And hopefully it happens this week. We still don't have too much information right now. We're kind of winging it. And this is the way life is sometimes. But tune in. I promise as soon as we know anything, I'll of course be posting on Twitter. I'll of course be having a live stream pulled up. And we'll have an unbelievable live stream for you guys. We will have just a really, really high-end live stream with a really good solution that I think you guys will want to watch for sure. So I'm sorry that I missed a lot of you guys' chats. I don't have a way to read them or anything right now. Everything has died. It is Boca Chica, so the fact that we're actually streaming is unbelievable because it has this weird ability of ruining anything electronic. I swear it's like the Bermuda Triangle of electronics is Boca Chica. So the fact that we're actually able to maintain and keep a stream up this whole time, pretty good. So we'll make improvements. Where we will have shore power for the stream itself. So get ready because I promise it'll be fantastic. I promise we have an awesome solution for you guys and lots of really good feeds for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys want to help me continue to do this and be able to afford all the stuff that we're working on, consider becoming a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/everydayastronaut. You can also get some access. I'm posting a couple of behind the scenes stuff there as well on Patreon. And we're doing a lot of fun stuff on Discord. We might even be doing some games in Discord if there's some time to wait. If we're ending up out here for a while, we'll do some Quiplash or maybe some quiz show game type stuff together. So if you guys want to do that and take part, patreon.com/everydayastronaut. But yeah, or I think YouTube members, we can probably integrate that type of stuff to the YouTube membership too as well. So yeah, so thank you there. And again, remember, we do have 15% off of our awesome web store, our new web store. Check it out. It's super improved, way better international shipping stuff all figured out for you guys. It even shows you how much your local VAT, your local taxes are, calculates that, pays those VATs and taxes, so it makes it through customs, gets door to door in like days now instead of weeks. So definitely check that out when you guys have a second. That's everydayastronaut.com/shop. Again, 15% off the entire thing through Monday night. So get on there while you can. Put it on your holiday list for your friends and family and say, this is the nerdy stuff that I need in my life, because I know that's how I am. All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for your patience, and get ready because I guarantee we will have an awesome stream here once this thing does take off. So, all right, guys, get ready for a lot more content from me. That's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Bye, everybody. And my mic's probably on even, so